All right, just a moment. Give me a moment, because I'm now being joined by Malam Mohammed Kudu Haruna, who is the National Commissioner of INEC, who released the revised timetable of INEC yesterday evening. Thank you so much indeed. What a pleasure having you join us tonight on the program.
Thank you very much.
Incidentally, just about 24 hours after releasing that timetable, ADC had come out to say they are rejected it. In fact, some of the words that they've used is such that they say that this is orchestrated. This is planned to ensure that the opposition is not able to meet up. For example, which Mr. Mr. Abalaji Abdullah had raised today, that how would you, or how would they be able to meet up with digitally meeting up with the digital membership of the party as prescribed by your guideline and by the electoral law?
Well, I don't see what is the problem, the big issue with membership. Right now, they're supposed to have their membership. Every party, every serious party should have no problem collating its membership. If INEC, how many members would they have? They can't be more than the total voter register of voters in Nigeria. We have over 93 million as at the last time. By the time we finish the current, CVR, that is the continuous voters registration, we'll probably add another 10 or so million. So that's a huge number. No party will have entirely that. So, and the technology for that, technology is becoming cheaper and cheaper before this. So I don't see how that will be a problem.
The problem here, which they envisage, is you have to match the number, the name and the details of the members with their NIN and their biometric data, which is now prescribed by your guideline. And the law has just been signed how many weeks ago? And now they have to do that between now and April. Just have a month to do that. Do you think that is feasible?
Well, I'm not an IT person, but from the little I know of information technology, I don't think that it's really that difficult.
But ADC is saying they are rejecting the timetable. How do you react to that?
What can we do? I mean, they are entitled to their opinion. If it is the law of the land, INEC does not have the pleasure of rejecting any law. We have to be guided by what the law is.
Interestingly, ADC said, Mr. Abdullah said, they're going to meet with you. But interestingly, he's meeting you right here on the program. Malam Abdullah, Malam Aruna is here. Before you go, if you may be able to tender your petition to INEC, albeit publicly, he's right here to listen to you. He was the one who released the revised, what's it called? And officially, you released a statement on behalf of your party. Now, the floor is yours.
Joe, you are putting me in a difficult situation, because the person you are asking me to ask questions is my very, very senior professional colleague. So, and in our profession, seniority is very important. But the point that Malam Haruna said about why digitalization is not a problem. Yes, I agree with him. Digitalization is not a problem, but like you rightly noted, it is the timing, it's the time frame that we have been given. I mean, this electoral act was just signed into law about 2 weeks ago or so, if it's up to that, and this was not part of the 2022 act. So, and given our circumstance, it is now that we will now have to start digitalizing the membership registration that we have collected. Of course, we have members across the country and have commenced registration. So the question is whether we'll be able to meet this requirement within the time that is prescribed according to the INEC timetable. And like I have said, the problem, I agree with Malam Haruna, INEC can only implement the law that INEC has been given. But if you have INEC, that's why INEC is independent. INEC has a responsibility to ensure that it protects our democracy, that it protects the electoral process, to ensure that it is free, fair, and credible. But I know that this government is also not in the habit of listening to INEC. I mean, INEC has, for example, on the issue of INEC said we can do it, but the government is taking Panadol on behalf of INEC, saying that INEC cannot do it because there will be no network. So what I'm saying is that we're not blaming INEC. We are ready to work with INEC. and we are putting our concerns forward, and we are hoping that INEC will be able to sit down with us and we will look at the issues, the areas that we meet regularly as political parties with INEC. That's one of the good things. So we are hoping that we'll be able to deal with this as quickly as possible. But for us, that is the point. It's not about whether we have the capability to do it. And Malam Haruna said, INEC, yes, INEC has been conducting registration, and but it is INEC that is a body, a government agency that is statutorily funded, that is statutorily charged with the responsibility of registering members. Even then, INEC knows how difficult it is to get these things done. I'm sure up till now there are millions of people on INEC register that are no longer existing, that are dead, and INEC has not been able to clean that up. So some of these things are not as straightforward as it is. But we are willing to do it. It's a requirement of the law, like you said. But we are saying that there is no time for us to do that within the next 32 days, and we believe that it is government's booby trap for the opposition political party.
How do you react quickly to that?
Well, I think he's already given the answer, which is that, we have to work within what the law says, what the law prescribes. We really, our hands are tied about this. So it was really
it's not your fault.
It's not our fault.
The law prescribes
it. The law prescribes it, and we'll have to act. We'll have to use.
But the allegation is that the ruling party is working from answer to the question. And that is a booby trap. That they knew this was going to happen, and they've started it a long time ago. And now the opposition or the other political parties will now have to battle to meet up that very threshold.
But the opposition parties, so it's a question of, outwitting each other. They should have known all along that this is possible, and maybe, anticipated it, because they have members in the House. They may not be the majority, but I'm sure there is a way they could have influenced things such that at least it will provide a level playing ground for everybody.
But as the umpire, you don't wear the gloves. You just stay in the middle as a referee, and whether the blood is shed or there's any punch, you're not throwing it.
If the punch is foul, obviously we'll have to blow.
You have to blow it. But thank you so much, Malam Balaji Abdullahi. INEC has heard it. Whether or not INEC has the power to do anything is another
issue.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Malam Balaji Abdullahi, for your time tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shil.
But by the law, when we saw it yesterday, we thought INEC was reacting to those who say Ramadan and Lenting is going to be clashing with the election. Was that the reason why?
No, that was absolutely not the reason. You remember when we published the date, of course there were protests. There has been precedence on these issues. This is not the first time. People forget 2003, it was Lent.
Yeah.
And the Christian Association protested vehemently against it. But eventually we still didn't budge. The election was held on that day because I remember it was, I think, Holy Saturday, which was between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. But the election still went on this. I think what INEC did was to persuade the CAN and other Christian organizations that were protesting against it. But if you can go back even further, 1979, the presidential election that brought in Shehu Shagari as the president was held during fasting. But of course you will say Nigeria has changed. That is like, ages ago, that religion didn't used to factor in maybe that much. Of course, religion has always been part of politics. But 79, that was what happened.
So it wasn't Ramadan or Lenten that prompted you to change, to revise it?
It's a new law because the timelines have changed. Not only of course, the most critical of the timelines is the one that says 300 days instead of 360 days. But there are other timelines. The timeline for parties to conduct their primaries, I think there is the section 28(9), for instance, cut it down from 180 days to 120 days.
Yeah.
There is also section 32, which is the publication of the final list of nominated candidates.
Yeah.
It was cut down from 150 days to 60.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is bound to affect, the timelines, the original timeline that we gave.
So presidential campaigns will now begin on the 19th of August.
That's right.
Governorship campaign will begin on September 9. Literally, the election is this year. Because election is a process.
January,
it's not an event.
No, it's not.
January is the
Before you
termination.
know it, January will be upon us.
Absolutely. And because all of the processes are beginning in the next few weeks and months to come. But in all of these, the presidential election and the governorship election are happening on different days. Is INEC bothered about what has now become a very tight schedule?
Of course, we are bothered by it.
One kobo has not been released to you by now.
No, the budget is still, has it been approved?
And now the law says 6 months, isn't it?
Six
instead
months.
of 1 year, 12
instead
months.
Of 1 year, no,
for your money,
360 days. It's a shaved off 2 months.
Yeah.
So it's now 300 days.
For your money to be
released. For our money to be released, as even
6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
It's half. So that's tough.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the things we require are not available off the shelf. We have to get more beavers. We've lost some. Then of course, even the printing of our ballot papers and our result sheets. These things take time. Even for printers, last time around we were able to print everything we needed internally. But even then, because a lot of the raw materials are still brought in from outside and they are denominated in, it takes time.
Yeah.
So
are you worried? Election is happening in the thick of the dry season.
Yeah.
Logistically, that's a nightmare.
I'm not too sure that's a nightmare. I think it's even better than during the rainy season.
Is it?
The last time around was also in February.
Yeah.
So dry season, it could affect, let's say, flights and so on and so forth. But a lot of things that we move around is by road.
I mean, you know what is happening, except if you're not doing anything in Europe. January was a bit of flu, issues of flight disturbances and disruptions happened sometimes in January/February. And a lot of those disruptions, logistically speaking, operation-wise, is a lot of headache. And it's early in the year. Those who say the festivities and all of that also will be in the way. But technically speaking, is INEC getting ready? Or is it ready?
Oh, of course we've been getting ready. But I can't tell you that we are ready because a lot of the sensitive materials, we are yet to get the money, not to talk of procuring them. So
have you done an audit of your technology?
Oh, but of course we have. In the last election, your last one, that is the FCT. I'm sure people would have noticed there has been an improvement on the upload on the IRF. Because for each subsequent election, the lessons we learn from the previous one, we always take it aboard and improve on our processes as well as the technology that we use.
The voter register and its integrity is a big one. Because in the heart of any reasonable, sensible, and fair election, there is a voter register.
It's the foundation.
Yeah. And is it been cleaned up? How fair or how clean is the voter register that you're working with?
At its core, it is very, very solid.
Okay.
We have names, of course, of I just pointed this out a short while ago that dead people still on the register and stuff like that. But we intend to do a revalidation, of the voter register. But the main problem is, of course, we have period of publication for objections and so on. But people hardly, when we give almost like say a week, 2 weeks, and people never get back to us to say, look, sometimes it's kind of self-indictment. Some big men will say, my dad is dead. But you never told INEC that you're dead, and that is why the period of publication for objection, that's why we provide for that period. But people don't respond.
On a final note, Madam, is this election going to be glitch-free?
If I tell you that it will be glitch-free, will you believe me? Is anything man-made?
I've known you
is anything
for almost all my life.
Yeah, but
I'm Aruna.
Yeah.
So, but if you tell me that it will be glitch-free, I will believe you. I will hold you to it.
No, I cannot tell you that it will be glitch-free.
Your former principal, Professor Mahmoud Yakuba, said, as at 2023, we're ready to do anything technical and to transmit to result. So Nigerians will want to know, is INEC ready to transmit result real time, simultaneously?
Absolutely.
Electronically?
Electronically, but people forget that we transmit only the PU results electronically. The collated results we don't transmit electronically, and that's always been the law.
Yeah.
You know, and people, it's the IRF thing that is the problem. And even with the IRF, it's the one that people hang on, that has become an albatross, is that presidential thing where there was a glitch. People forget that there are even the most advanced countries. I was in South Africa. I led a team of INEC to go the last general election. There was a huge glitch on the day that results were being, and it didn't lead to people saying,
Look, have you found out the real reason behind the glitch of 2023? Have you done an audit?
Of course, we've done an audit. And it's obvious that because we've never tried it at a national level, people forget that for the presidential, it's one constituency. The entire country is one constituency. So it's like a traffic.
So you've learned from what happened?
You've learned from that.
All right.
So hopefully
there won't be any glitch.
Hopefully.
But you can transmit, you have the capacity to transmit
We have the
results.
capacity to transmit the results. Even the last time we had the capacity, the only glitch was in the presidential.
All right. And you have learned your lesson.
We've learned our lesson.
No glitch in 2027.
No.
I wish you glitch-free election.
You won't put that word into my mouth.
Madam Mohammed Kudu Aruna, National Commissioner with INEC. Thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time. That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'll see you 7:30 on Sunday. The nation will be watching. The stakeholders will be in the mix. And of course, you Nigerians will be asking the question in that town hall. Citizens will be speaking about Nigeria's election of 2027. Don't miss it. I'm Sean Kimbalwe. God bless Nigeria.